This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
Tonight, a scathing report from the state of Missouri slamming the largest nursing home in St. Louis. Health officials say the leaders of Northview Village failed hundreds of people when they suddenly closed the facility last month. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. The report outlines the chaos and confusion that happened in December when the facility shut down. Our Justina Coronel has been reviewing this report, and she joins us now in studio with reaction. Justina?
Yeah, so this lengthy 59-page report breaks down what happened on December 15th and the days to follow. Now, the report said the owners decided on that very same day they closed that they wouldn't make payroll, and it said the facility failed to ensure residents' safety.
It was chaotic. It was horrible.
Tasha Thomas recalls the crisis at Northview Village.
It was a mess. People was going here, going there. It was just, residents were crying, staff was crying. It was heartbreaking.
The former employee's account aligned with the 59-page report released by the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services. It details the deficiencies at the nursing home, which suddenly closed on December 15th.
Talking to anybody outside of, the state and other states, nobody has seen anything like this.
The state director of the SEIU Healthcare Union feels strongly about what went wrong, putting blame on the out-of-state owners and the administration.
This was the result of incompetence from the owners who made a very conscious decision not to make payroll.
From there, the report says chaos followed. As residents were being ushered out of the building that day, fire alarms went off, the elevator got stuck because it was overcrowded, phones stopped working, and some residents started to leave on their own.
No notification to family members, so you had 170 residents were moved out. According to their discharge paperwork, they didn't know where 47 of those residents went to.
Organizations like Voice helped residents following the shutdown.
It sounds like medical records that are generally kept very private under HIPAA laws and things like that were open and available for all to see.
The report concerns Executive Director Marjorie Moore.
And I just wonder where the leadership was throughout that evening and why, the administrator or others didn't step up and say, we're going to take charge of this, and why the owners weren't present.
She worries about the trauma residents faced.
Additionally, we're actually worried about some of the physical trauma that some residents went through.
As for Thomas, she's one of hundreds of employees still searching for a job and some relief.
I'm hoping for the best, but it's been a struggle.
Now, we did reach out to the owners and have not heard back. Meanwhile, approximately 100 employees have filed a class action lawsuit, and they say the owners violated the WARN Act, which requires a 60-day notice before laying people off.
Breaking news out of Franklin County right now. Eastbound I-44 is starting to reopen near Union. Looks like one lane is getting by. All lanes were shut down earlier due to a crash near US 50. Here's a live view from our MoDOT cam. Then one lane, and traffic is backed up for miles. No word on injuries. We'll continue to update the traffic situation. The roads are wet, but the dense fog advisory has just been lifted. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell has your weather first forecast.
Yes, it's been an active day weather-wise as we had the dense fog lingering across much of the area, and now finally the rain is starting to push away from St. Louis. Still have the low clouds around, though. Looking at the Gateway Arch, those clouds are still hugging the upper part of the arch there, just about 400 feet off the ground or so. And there you go. Rain sliding off to the north and east. This was a pretty heavy rain at times, really slowed the evening rush hour down. The back edge of that rain now is pushing to the northeast of St. Louis. Heaviest rain is lifting along Interstate 70 and Interstate 64, farther east and northeast of St. Louis, and also along Interstate 57. Some pretty good downpours in those areas right now. This part of a much larger storm system that continues to bring active weather across the middle part of the country. Still a little bit of rain in Highland, Illinois, but it has let up quite a bit right now as you look at the square. There's a new dense fog advisory that will go into effect at 9 o'clock tonight for areas north and west of St. Louis. Does not include the metro area just yet, but that chance is there that we'll see more fog developing, at least patchy fog in the St. Louis area tonight. So we'll be monitoring that through the evening. We'll see in a few minutes, and we'll talk about the big changes coming towards next week.
Remember, you can get the weather first forecast sent to your phone anytime by just texting the word weather to 314-425-5355, and we'll send you a link.
A new hospital with an historic name has opened in North St. Louis. 5 on your side's Diamond Palmer spent the day at the new Homer G. Phillips Memorial Hospital. She takes us inside the facility and inside the debate over the hospital's name.
The new Homer G. Phillips Memorial Hospital is located in Carr Square. Karen Johnson is leading the facility as their chief operating officer.
This community hasn't had 24/7 health care in at least probably 2 generations.
Dr. Priyanka Lauber is also helping lead the hospital as the medical director for the emergency department.
It doesn't matter what race you are, your socioeconomic status. You have the right to feel like when your health is something that you're concerned about, that you get standard of care and you get the right care.
The new hospital is named after a prominent St. Louis lawyer and equal rights advocate. It includes a 15-bed emergency department and services like MRIs, CT scans, x-rays, ultrasounds, and inpatient beds. But the hospital's name has been met with controversy. A group called Homer G. Phillips Nurses Alumni filed a lawsuit against the developer. They worked at the original Homer G. Phillips in the Ville neighborhood.
We just want the name removed because of the trademark and because of the legacy of Homer G. Phillips Hospital being in the Ville area.
Change the Name Coalition is helping to advocate for the alumni of nurses.
Only thing we are asking is change the name. We don't care about the hospital or what he's trying to build, but why use Homer Phillips' name? Why can't he use his own name or someone else's name?
But the hospital says they've received different feedback about the name.
We are aspiring to fulfill his legacy by providing health care to the community, to the Black community. And, you know, we've actually heard positive comments about the name.
Reporting in St. Louis, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
Change the Name Coalition says it will continue to raise funds for the Homer G. Phillips Nurses alumni. The money will pay for legal fees for the lawsuit, which is still in state court. We reached out to the developer, Paul McKee, but we haven't heard back. A new $800 million meat processing plant outside Wright City isn't scheduled to open for another year, but residents are already voicing concerns about cattle haulers coming through their community.
So this facility sits along I-70, right along the border of Warren and St. Charles County, just 2 miles from Forestell. 5 on your side's Holden Kurwicki has been looking into the residents' concerns. Holden.
Well, and there are numerous questions about how 2,400 cattle per day are going to get into that facility and if the current infrastructure in that area needs to be upgraded to support the traffic, which some believe could one day end up coming right through the middle of a St. Charles County subdivision.
When Nate Schmerber bought this Forestell home over a year ago, he admits he fell in love with a rural setting.
When we chose our lot out here, we specifically wanted to make sure that we backed up to fields or something that was open, because you can't get that in Wentzville or anybody else.
He was aware that an $800 million meat processing plant was being built down the road and admits he had questions about sending 200 cattle haulers per day through Forestell down Veterans Memorial Road.
The overpass that we have here is crumbling. It needs to be rebuilt and addressed quickly.
No, right now there is a designing stage of a roadway to the south part of the property.
While the goal is to tie the road into Highway T, Schmerber is concerned it would send cattle haulers through his subdivision.
I've got little ones. There are a lot of kids in this neighborhood, and the last thing we want is commercial and semi-trucks rolling through a residential area, because the last thing I want to see is somebody get hurt.
If that road goes in, it will be a vehicle traffic only. It won't be a truck traffic. That area is actually in the jurisdiction of Forestell, and they will not allow truck traffic, tractor-trailer truck traffic, that is, on that road.
That would only happen if Forestell bans commercial traffic on the road, or if the Liberty Subdivision HOA pays to make the road private. But City Administrator Sandra Stokes wasn't aware of Warren County's plans.
That's just rumor right now. We haven't heard anything from Warren County at all saying that they're going to do that.
Nearly everyone I spoke with said a standalone overpass serving the plant would fix the problem, but
that is not budgeted for the Improve I-70 project. That has to get earmarked separately from another funding bill.
The AFG plant really isn't going to be fully operational until the year 2025. So I don't think anything's going to happen with a road from Stringtown through Liberty Subdivision for quite some time.
MoDOT is holding a public meeting Wednesday night at the Warren County Administration Building in Warrenton to discuss future plans for I-70 through the Forestell area. But a MoDOT spokesman told me that at this time, a new overpass isn't on the agenda. Ann?
Coming up, a Metro East fire station under fire. The fire truck damaged by a stray bullet.
Plus, can free books spark a love of literature? That's the goal of a new campaign.